What's good, everybody? Rocking with your boys, all rights reserved. Now, first off, I want to say, everyone that's new, that's coming in and viewing, subscribe, hit the bell beside the subscribe button. Another thing I want to say is all my normal viewers and everyone, I want you to go to my playlist, find the RIP XxXTentacion playlist, and retweet this, move this list. And if you haven't seen some of the videos, watch them and check them out and make your opinion on what you see. Now, the reason I'm saying this type of stuff is because I am not only pushing this playlist to a certain level, but I want people to start viewing this so they can give their honest opinion. I will begin starting to do things as my goal of reaching 10,000 subscribers is in full effect. So subscribe, hit the bell, and what's going to happen is the comments that I find that have the most likes, and every comment will have a like from me. That will be the normal thing because, like I tell you, I read every comment, and I actually put a like or a dislike on every comment. Every comment that I see and I go through, whichever ones had the most like will be the commenters that I begin to shout out for a week straight and the top of what I'll be doing. And this would be in a month coming. So my goal is in a month to make it to 10,000 subscribers. So everyone subscribe and interact with the videos and playlists as this series continues. Tomorrow I'll do multiple videos continuing the different things I was talking about. I started off this one basically putting out there what I wanted to be done. Dealing with the playlist and other videos I've done, so that and the reason I'm mainly saying this, a lot of people have been repeating and saying some things I kind of already had talked about. So I want you guys to not only retweet this, throw it out there, and it's not only comments that are pinned. If your comment's pinned on the video and it has way more likes than others, I'll kind of weigh it out and I'll probably do you both. But whichever comments I find to have the most likes, that will be comments that I will either verbatim write them down with the person's name, or I'd also go and find out who may have equal or more comments, and we'll go from there. Another thing, to new viewers, I want you to subscribe and also go to the video that I have in the XxTentacion RIP list and send it out, shoot it out, tweet it out. I've already tweeted it on my Twitter, that is @of Jaspera, Jasperra. And what's going to happen is I'm going to pin this on my Twitter. And if you don't want to go to the video and do it, and you're on Twitter following me, you could just retweet this off of my Twitter, and it will be the same effect. So it will be doing the same thing, leading people to the videos. So shout out to the new commenters. I'm going to briefly go into something. Now, did Tentacion actually have some type of relationship with individuals that were involved in this crime? Did he know them previously? Now, from my assumptions dealing with the situation, I do not think he was very familiar with Diedrich, who was allegedly in the store. So we can kind of rule him out. Did he know Robert Allen, Michael Boatwright, or Trayvon Newsom? Now, I have details and information leading me to believe he may have had some type of previous incident occur with one of these individuals. Now, if you're that commenter that brought that up, I want you to shout your name out in this video. Comment underneath and let me know, yeah, I said this, because I do know someone had went along and said this. So that's very important, because this may lead us to understand that there was malice involved with these people that were led to this trap. Now, did the mastermind play off of this? Did he understand that there was a previous incident and said, why not get an enemy of my enemy is my friend type of thing? And this is a very serious thing. Being the mastermind might even have been a relative. So it was a very well thought out thing, because a person would only see rage or some type of red instead of thinking calmly and uniquely about the situation, especially if they wanted revenge. This would have been a very strong factor to take advantage of. And that's one of the things I want to put out there, that if this was done that way, it was definitely used in a mastermind way. Someone that knew his past, someone that knew his present, and someone that was trying to put detriment in his future. These things can't be played with. As we know, there's a certain era of, let's say, respect that is in dealing with someone's enemies if you're affiliates or you're some type of friendly person to someone. So we know that this would have been done behind the scenes. So even if he may have had an idea that there was a setup coming, he didn't know exactly what was going to happen. I don't believe that, or else he would not have showed up at the store. Now, we still don't know who the passenger is, and we'll get into new information I received on that as well, dealing with what actually happened to the crime scene, because there was a commenter that had mentioned it before, and I have a lot of respect for that commenter. I really like the way that you came at the situation, so I'm going to go back through them, find your comments, and then I'll shout you out when I begin doing this. What's most important is, if you have not seen the other videos I've done, getting to this point in what we're talking about, when I say I've already spoken about something, or when I re-mention something with more details, it's not going to make that much sense. That's why it's very important for you guys to catch up to where a lot of us actually are. I promise that you'll enjoy every single video, and all the videos up to now, I don't believe in filler. I always reach out to my commenters because they interact with me, and a lot of them send me prevalent information who I shout out. They can second me on that. And that's what's most important, that you guys get recognized when you come up with a good idea or a good point. That's why for a lot of newer viewers, because we've grown substantially since then, I want you guys to retweet out the RIP XxxTentacion playlist that I have. There is now 56 videos. This will be the 57th one. And this is the only type of filler I'm going to give, because I'm still adding in details of things I need to know. Was there some type of relation between him and one of these dudes? Now, I had a commenter whose name I will shout out when I do an official video talking about the details of the relation, and he let me know that Trayvon Newsom had some previous, let's say, encounter with Tentacion. And other than that, I don't have any relation other than who may have been the passenger that may have had some type of relation. Now, as I stated before in another production, there were weird things such as Diedrich following not only Tentacion, but some relatives of Tentacion on social media. If he was following it closely, this could have been a very easy position for him to act on a situation. That is the only potential ideology behind the fact that there was no mastermind. But we know that not to be true because of the timing. Let alone, we don't even know if these men knew the bag of money was in there. How would they know unless they were stalking him from the bank? But his first encounter with individuals involved, who are the alleged suspects, was only at Riva Motorsports. Now, there's also some other things we'll be getting into, like why was the sales manager outside allegedly checking Tentacion's pulse when he should have been calling 911? Now, let's say you dialed 911, then ran out. Where's the call? Let alone you're running out checking his pulse. You should be calling the medics and trying to make sure that they're arriving. We know that we see no photos or no prevalent, let's say, reference that any medics arrived on the scene in a timely manner, let alone authorities. We know who was first on the scene, and it was allegedly family and a fanatic who gave his details of the story. Now, how come we haven't heard anything from this witness? That is another subject we'll be getting into. And all of this will be supported by details. I actually have more details about the videos I did over the weekend, not only involving the charities and the different businesses, but alternate things in business that may be being done on the side. I also wanted to acknowledge that I don't know how many comments you guys go through and read, but as I tell you, I read everything. A guy named Fern Boss allegedly had some type of, let's say, business relationship and malice towards Tentacion. Now, this is just a commenter, and I read that. And you didn't go into detail, but you wrote me a few paragraphs saying how angry you were about the situation, which has nothing to do with me. But at the same time, I see that you had malice in your heart. So, you had Fern Boss and didn't really have a picture. So there's no way for me to really detail if it was real or fake. Because, people troll all the time. That's just the type of stuff that people do to act like that. But at the same token, if it was real, you'd have to say it was real. You have to let me know that something was real, and I gave you that option to hit me up on Twitter and let me know. Let me know what business went bad. That's all. It's nothing crazy. I didn't ask you to go into detail. Just give me a synopsis. But you couldn't do that. So only thing I can mentally massage is the fact that it wasn't true. So if you were trolling, don't troll like that. That's nothing to joke about when a person's deceased. I don't find that funny. I don't think anyone around him will find something like that funny, that really cared for him, especially the other commenters that are actually interacting and giving their viewpoints and objective opinions on situations. That was the first kind of comment I actually read of that nature. So I really can't say I've seen anything like that before. I don't have anyone to co-sign you. If you were someone else, that was a good way to kind of get off the steam of what you wanted to say. I respect that. And we're not going to disrespect you. I just want to know facts. Don't sit here and say someone was malicious in business and they weren't. We're keeping things real, and we're using evidence to provide documents to provide our opinions and just our different viewpoints on situations that are being delivered. So we're actually moving towards a cause. So again, to people like Fern Boss and other people who just seem to have popped up randomly, take the playlist XxXTentacion, RIPs before it in caps, and send that out. Tweet it. Send it to your friends. Ask your friends' opinion. We want to get everyone's thoughts on the situation. Everything's discussed objectively and from an evidence standpoint. So none of us are up here just throwing around hogwash and hoping it stands for something. None of us are up here around just playing with different information like it's not having any type of grounds to stand on. And if you guys have anything objective to what I've been saying or any information to answer questions you've seen in any videos, you can hit my Twitter up at OFJASPERRA. Hit me up right there. You can hit my inbox. I'll accept your request. Anyone that has something to say, I always respond. I always keep up with them. Even if I don't answer right away, I've seen it. And we're going to just keep moving forward. And you know how I rock. My commenters rock. All rights reserved.